Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carter Walker. I love talking about movies, music, comics, and games. If you're interested in any of that, feel free to check out the rest of my videos. Today I just wanted to do kind of a quick little video about the new Kevin Williamson slasher that dropped on Peacock today called Sick. I had no idea that he was writing a new slasher until I saw all the Fantastic Fest buzz about it. They said it was good, alright, nothing special really, apart from the fact that it is a COVID slasher. That was like the one thing that really set it apart. So I just wanted to check it out. This is what I thought. So Sick is written by Kevin Williamson and it's directed by John Hyams. The basic premise of this movie is it's early April 2020, right when the COVID pandemic started. And so these two girls are quarantining at this remote cabin. Yeah, I wanted to check this out because, number one, he wrote the Scream franchise, and Scream is one of my favorite movies of all time. It is my favorite horror movie. So starting out with the positives, I feel like this needs to be said. If you're someone who was affected by COVID, you probably don't want to watch this movie since it kind of pokes fun at it sometimes, and it has a little fun with the subject. And so, well, some jokes I can definitely see upsetting people. Overall, I kind of just moved along in the movie. I didn't really try to pay attention to it too much, even though it is the main focus of the movie. I just tried to focus on the killer stuff. Which brings me to my biggest positive is I thought the kills in this movie were really well done. The violence was amazing. I really wasn't planning on talking about this movie very much, but seeing the violence and the way the killers act on screen, it's very different from the Scream franchise. All the Scream movies, the killers are super realistic, just bumbling idiots, in the first one they trip over everything, and then they kind of kept up that trend with the killer just getting hit with random objects. It's not some unstoppable force like Freddy, Michael, or Jason. It's just a person in a Ghostface costume. The killers in this movie, they are not as bumbling as the Scream franchise. Instead, they're very different. They're a lot more aggressive. When they get into altercations with their victims, they throw them around like rag dolls. They punch them in the face. They get stabbed. There's a lot of back and forth in this movie, which I found really interesting. Is a lot of both sides take damage in this movie. There's a very, very great sequence, probably my favorite sequence in the entire movie, involving wood plank raft and a killer in the water that I thought was genius. It was very intense. I love that part of the movie. I really wasn't super interested in the movie, just basic slasher stuff, until about halfway through, where finally everything kicks into gear, and then just some more plot beats happen, that sequence happened, and I was sucked in. I was very engaged with what was happening, very impressed. It shot extremely well. All the shots look great. There's a lot of great pans where you can see the killer back in the view. There's a lot of great effects here. The blood and gore effects, the violence all look fantastic. It's very, on location, very closed off, so I thought that was amazing. And the score, especially at the end, I found to be pretty eerie and effective. So yeah, overall I thought there was a lot to like in this movie. Moving on to the mixed, it's not very scary. I'm not really scared by slashers anymore, probably just because I've seen so many of them. There were definitely points in this movie where it was intense, and I was, fearing for the characters, like, oh, how are they going to get out of this? There's no way they get out of this. But overall, there's nothing that really, chilled me to the bone. But, I can see how people would find slashers scary. I myself don't find them that scary. They're more of a thriller, intense, fun time for me, honestly. But this was a good time. In the mixed aspect of things, I really don't have much to say. I thought it was, just a great slasher. Not as cleverly written as Kevin Williamson's other movies, not as iconic as his other movies, I'm sure. However, it can't really hurt to add to his filmography, just one notch in his belt, another good slasher movie. I thought the performances were good, especially the girl that plays Parker. She gets the majority of the screen time. She's not exactly an agreeable character. She's kind of a jerk, especially in the movie. You end up rooting for her because she is resourceful. She's always fighting to survive, and I found that very endearing throughout the movie, so I really liked that part. The cast is very small. There's not a lot to talk about there, and then when there is other stuff to talk about, it's very spoiler heavy, so I'm not going to get into that. Heading into the negatives, it's not even 90 minutes long, so it's a very quick movie. However, sometimes the pacing felt like it was a little bit longer than I would have expected. I would have enjoyed some more scenes, maybe add another person to the mix just so we can get a few more kills, maybe some more action between the back and forth. However, overall, I honestly thought it was a very good movie. I just don't see myself revisiting it very often. This is one of those movies where it does a lot of things really well. It does a lot of things good, but it doesn't do anything great or exceptional besides the kills. I can see myself rewatching this pretty often. However, I don't think it's nearly as iconic or has the staying power of the Scream franchise. It doesn't have any of the charm or the comedy of the Scream franchise. I feel like this was just a very biting commentary about COVID and the people affected by it, set in a slasher background so that Kevin Williamson can just get an easy sale and also get his point of view across and commentary across. I thought it was fun. I would definitely check it out if I were you guys. It's on Peacock, streaming for free. It's literally like 80 minutes long. So just if you want to kill some time tonight, it is Friday the 13th. I would recommend it. It's a fun time. Overall, I'd give it probably about a 7 out of 10. Yeah, overall, good movie. I'd say there's nothing really iconic about it, but I don't see this movie trying to be iconic. I see it just trying to be a slasher movie set in COVID, trying to be very unique. However, I don't think it has as much staying power as it might like. I don't know. It might just catch on fire on the internet, and a lot of people might find this either very funny or very offensive. I can see it going either way, but I'm interested to hear what you guys thought about it. Have you seen Sick? What did you think about it? And if there's anything else that I should check out this weekend, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. See you next time, guys. Have a great rest of your day.